Hello there, and welcome to another round of Dr. T, looks like Volcano Island. We're on stage 1 right now, and we are looking to kick some major butt. However, we're looking to kick said butt as a make-believe level, 1 tank user. To do this, I'm dropping 2 tanks. Obviously, for people looking for later stages, down in the comment section below, I've got the times of the beginning of each stage, so by all means, skip to whatever stage you're looking for a route on, and hopefully it will help you out. As the levels increase, so do the number of tanks, so hopefully it'll scale nicely and be viable. If it's not, please let me know. I'm definitely looking, for ways to tweak this, but I'm hoping that I can provide some assistance for the low-level boomers who don't have maxed out landing craft. So, stage 1 is already down. I did absolutely nothing. I let the tanks path naturally. I only landed the 2 tanks. So I'm hoping if you've got, 5 or 6 low-level tanks, it'll all balance out. And we're going to skip right ahead to stage 2. I'm throwing some critters just to speed things up and to have some fun because, again, I'm landing 2 tanks and not even really doing any pathing. I'm letting them naturally choose where they want to go. If they started doing something weird, obviously we can flare, but there's not really much of a point. And I am actually this time throwing an artillery shot just to take out those boom mines to, keep them from doing something scary to my poor tanks. Anyways, by the time you get to this position, the only thing that can really hit you is the rocket launcher, which notoriously does next to nothing to tanks, at least in low numbers and at low level, because we've all seen the ops where there's 30,000 rocket launchers and they just melt tanks like they're not even there. Anyways, gonna toss some GBE just to speed the base up and move on so that we can get a look at stage 3. And with the help of some movie magic, we will get there quickly. Oh, look at that already. Now, for this level, it's going to require a little bit more GBE from your tank user, because there are boom cannons, and boom cannons will ruin your day. So I'm throwing Barrage, which will destroy everything in the vicinity because of the levels. But, if your barrage is lower level and you're using artillery, by all means, make sure to hit between those towers or between the storage boxes and the boom cannon in the back there, because you'll get the double hit, you'll do damage to both targets, and it will help you get more of your GBE back and do damage to the HQ. So, do whatever you can with your gunboat to take out those extra towers. If you're really in a pinch and can only take out the boom cannon behind the base, that is a possibility as long as you're willing to flare up to that boom cannon on the, outskirts of the base or closest to where I landed the tanks. And using shock bombs, you should be able to grind that thing down, but if you can, it's normally just safer to keep your tanks away from boom cannons. Take them out as much as possible. So, for whatever reason, our 1 tank decided that it was time to go have a picnic in the top right-hand corner. I don't know why it did this, but it looks like it's getting beaten up quite badly, and it's kind of getting beaten up quite badly. Like, it's pushing half health there, but in that poor tank's defense, the driver is stupid. Also, if you were to land, say, 6 landing crafts worth of tanks, the damage is normally spread around the various tanks. So you don't have to think, oh crap, this high level tank is getting knocked down to half. I can't do this level, this is not going to happen. By all means, as long as the damage is getting spread around various tanks, and if you've got medics backing them up, you're laughing. It's going to be a non-issue. If you really wanted to be careful and keep all your tanks together for ease of management, you could have flared up into that top right-hand corner instead of just letting the tanks drift in. And as you can see, I'm just going to take it down, because once you're down in these trees where it's almost impossible to see the tanks, they're completely safe. There's nothing that can actually do any damage, and that's kind of what we want to finish off HQs. At least that's what I like to be in. I like to be in the safe zone so I can cruise control to loot. Alright, so moving on to Stage 4, this is where I actually have to start scouting, because some Stage 4s are really scary and they mess me up. So I'm also going to up the troop ante. I'm dropping a whopping 4 tanks with a whole boat of medics. I know. Whoa, right? But I promise this is completely doable. And if I had a half a boat of medics, I could have done that too. It would have been completely doable, because really the damage, it's not that scary. Also, the medics, I don't know, they don't scale up very quickly with the healing. 1 point of healing per level, so even if you've only got level 1 medics, they will almost be as good as level 4 medics. It's crazy like that. Where you get your real advantage is in the hit points, because your level 4 medics will be able to survive a lot more crap, because medics are notorious for hanging out on the beach and, trying to work on their tans while everybody else runs away so that the rocket launchers can kick the crap out of them. Anyways, those medics. We're clearing up the left-hand side here. We've almost got the last of the scary defenses, and obviously we got a couple tanks that are already on the HQ, so it's time for some pew-pew nuking. And actually, this is the level 4 base, right? With the crazy amount of hit points. And what I would suggest is, if you can, hold back a boat of Zookas for this point in the attack. And if you can hold back that boat of Zookas, once you've cleared out these defenses and it's nice and safe to get the Zookas in there, land the Zookas, run them up there near where the tanks are at, and let the Zookas bomb this down. Because otherwise, this attack may actually come down to time for lower level people. It's not necessarily that your tanks are going to be dying, it's not that it's going to be hard, it's just you're not going to have all the time you need to finish off the base. Zookas are wonderful for that. If you're feeling brave, you could try Grens, but I don't know. I think the Zookas are a little bit better. They're a safer bet. The Grens will help clear up some of the stuff around the base, because you will have to be a little more careful with the Zookas. They're going to be in range of like the machine gun and the mortar, so you're going to have to use your tanks to clear up those extra defenses, but trust me, totally worth it. As you can see from my quick little scan of Stage 5 here, I'm going to be landing on the right hand side because I like free GBE, and there are a lot of freaking boom cannons and shock launchers to worry about. So I'm going to start cleaning those up in anticipation of the headaches they're going to cause me as my tanks roll up the right hand side relatively unmolested and, most importantly, completely safe. And then I will continue dropping the pain on these stupid shock launchers, and gosh, that took an extra hit. That's horrible. Yeah. And very quickly start running out of GBE. Now the good news is, by the time that I've cleared up all of that, all of these defenses up at the beginning, like mortars, rocket launchers, machine guns, they're all easy prey for the tanks, so I can start to replenish my GBE really quickly, and I'm actually just tossing some down on a boom cannon. just for ease of mind, but with some extra care, if you're short on GBE, you can hide from that cannon. Just keep your troops up along the northmost ridge, and you're not going to have to worry about it. So as we reach the cannons and sniper towers, which, do bad things to tanks, I'm going to throw down a shock, and I'm going to gather everybody up in a nice safe place, because I can see that shock launcher is becoming a problem, and I want to throw some heals. So we will make sure that that shock launcher stops annoying us. There we go. Aw, crap, I missed the boxes. Alright, well, whatever. Now, there's also a buttload of mines, so I'm going to flare up to avoid all of those boom mines, because I didn't actually pay attention to what level they are, but, they're boom mines, so let's keep them away from the tanks. It's not rocket surgery. Whew! Alright, and with this, Stage 5 is pretty much done. I will let it quickly clear off, throw a smoke onto the medics so that they can, stop working on their tan and get away from that sniper tower. And we are done with Stage 5 and moving on to Stage 6, which, I'm not gonna lie, Stage 6 had me stumped for a little bit. I actually, when I was editing this, realized I scouted it for almost a minute, which is impressive. The good news is, all of these boom cannons and shock launchers are relatively low level. The bad news is, even at low level, with the amount of boost they have, they're pretty tough. That was basically 2 barrages on those 2 shock launchers, and I had to use a third just to clean everything up. I also have to use 3 artillery shots, maybe 4, just to take down a single boom cannon, which is kind of painful. So a lot of GB has to go into this attack to make it safe for the tanks. The good news being that all of these machine guns up along the top ridge and all of those containers and boxes and puddles of goo are nice, easy GBE. So it's easy to farm a little bit up, and then as we go through, we can clear out the scary towers, basically, as they come into range. Except for when our barrage fails us, and apparently we have to throw artillery extra. Okay, so, and yes, tanks will be lost in this attack. It's just the way that it is, because you have to get through that GBE farming section of defenses without using any GBE to keep it safe. So up here is where I can start using my shock bombs to clear out the cannons and the sniper towers up at the top, and most importantly, keep that last freaking boom cannon in a state of stasis. And I'm gonna actually flare here because it's important to take that mofo out before the shock wears off and he starts to just disintegrate our poor sweet tanks. You know, they have families and kids, and by gosh, they're just so darn nice. Anyways, after that boom cannon is gone, fortunately, everything in this top corner is easy mode. It's all mortars, which we're good with being in our tanks. And there are a few sniper towers as we come down towards the base, but luckily, if you flag into that very topmost corner, the tanks will take those out on the way to the HQ. And then once they're all taken out, the HQ is targeted, and it is a nice, easy, safe cruise into victory against Dr. T in Stage 6. Unfortunately, without the max landing crafts and whatnot, I do not feel comfortable in my abilities to take down Stage 7, but at least for the mid-level and low-level people out there who are hopefully still coming into Boom Beach, this will have helped you. Hopefully it did. If it did, please let me know. If it didn't, please give me some suggestions on what you'd like to see. Thank you very much for watching, and have yourselves a great day. See you next time.